Well, it is 105 right now, and it is about uh, 2 minutes into the game. But the Giants are facing the team from Washington, the Washington football team, and the Giants are looking for their first win on the season. The Washington is looking for their second. But I saw that Andrew Thomas was actually benched today. He is not starting, and Pert is going to be starting, which is huge news to me. I mean, you're taking the fourth overall pick and benching him. Well, Joe Judge isn't a guy that takes any any flack from anybody, and he actually is going to play someone that has been practicing really well. And Andrew Thomas has looked very shaky these past couple of games, the first 5 games of the year. He has, he has not. It looks like another miss by Gettleman, but we'll see. Maybe he'll come back and he'll he'll take it as a wake up call. Hopefully, one can only hope. But the Washington football team just rushed for a good game on second down. So it's going to be third and short. It's going to be third and 2 to be exact. And let's see if the Giants defense can get off the field. I mean, they deferred. They won the toss and they deferred. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully the Giants D can stand strong and force a punt. And it looks like fourth down. So that is good. And now we're going to get to see the Giants' struggling offense after this punt. Oh, actually, no, they're going for it. And they got it. Well, and that serves me right for assuming they would punt the ball, but when you're 1-4, why not go for it? They're not going anywhere. I mean, the Giants sure as heck ain't going to make the playoffs. The Washington football team's probably not going to make the playoffs because they all got to win. Everybody in the NFC East has to win the division because that's the only way you get into the playoffs. So the Giants defense is actually numbers wise isn't that bad, but they can't seem to get off the field. They play well on first and second down. Third down, if it's like third and a mile, the opposing offense still gets a first down. I don't understand it. But this time they got it on fourth down. And you got to tackle, but they can't tackle. And they get a first down on a pitch, on a missed tackle. But see, that's why everybody was saying the Giants are going to get a win, and I'm like, well, not so fast. The Giants haven't proven to me, at least, that they can get a win. And right there, fundamentals, not making a tackle. They had to tackle the guy wrapped up in the backfield or after a very minimal gain, and he breaks free, and they get a first down. So on first down, the Redskins get a flag. And it was an illegal shift, I believe. Illegal motion. Same thing. And it's just 5-yard penalty, so it's second. Oh, well, it's 1st and 15, so Some miscommunication between Allen and the receiver, and that could have been a big play for the Giants, but it's just the way the season's going, so it wasn't. It was just an incomplete pass, but that could have been like a pick. But of course, it didn't work out that way because that's just the way the Giants' season's going. They're not catching any breaks. Oh, come on. And Gibson breaks the tackle and gets a 5-yard gain. So it's like 3rd and 10. Let's see if the Giants defense can actually stop Washington from getting a 3rd and 10. And that dumps it off, and he is tackled, and he's well short of the first down. And that will, well, I don't want to say, because last time I said that, it'll force a punt or field goal attempt. I don't think they are in field goal position, or it'll just be a very long field goal because they're basically at the 30-yard line. Uh-oh. Martinez is down with an injury. That's one person that can't really lose. Eesh.
We're using the speakerphone in the store. Is that a good idea? One of the ways I do that is to get them out of the home. They're looking for a grunt brush.
And Blake Martinez went down with an injury and is still on the turf, which is not good for the Giants because he's like their leading tackler. He's pointing to his chest, so I don't know what that is. Maybe he landed on his chest or stomach or knocked the wind out of him. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, which I would be very relieved if he's just coming off the field to catch a breath on 4th and 7, because the Giants cannot afford to lose him. But Hopkins is lining up for a field goal attempt on a 4th and 7. And we'll see if he can nail this. It's a 47-yard attempt. Not a gimme, but not impossible to make. And it looks like it's wide right. And it is wide right. And it remains scoreless in the first. So the Giants will get the ball at their own, basically their own 30-yard line. Well, yeah, basically their own 30-yard line. But the big case there is that Blake Martinez doesn't appear to be injured like a significant injury, just like the wind knocked out of him. Because if the Giants lose their leading tackler, that would be disastrous.
chicken papadilla, tangy buffalo sauce, grilled chicken, and melty cheese for just $6. Papa John's. Why do I show up? Day in and day out. Because I am a football player. Watch it.
So what will be interesting is if Matt Parrott plays well at left tackle, because he is starting for the Giants. He's going to start. That was weird. My screen froze a little bit. But, that could be interesting if the Giants, if Matt Parrott actually plays well at left tackle, and then Cam Fleming, doesn't play bad, but they move Thomas over to right tackle, and then you have left and right tackle, and then you have your bookends. Because then they don't have to – you would think they wouldn't have to allocate another draft pick to offensive line, even though I think that's probably what they're going to do in this draft. They're definitely, I think, going to look at a center, and I think they would also draft some weapons for Daniel Jones, because I don't think they're going to get Lawrence. I don't think they'll be in running, because I do think they're going to get – I don't know if they're going to win today, but I think this is their best chance for a win today, because Daniel Jones has a very good record against he has good numbers against the team from Washington. I really don't like having – I wish Washington would just come up with a new nickname, because this is just difficult. And Evan Ingram catches the ball for a nice gain, for probably like a 15-yard gain. Well, no, it was like a 21-yard gain. But that's good. That I like to see. That is what the Giants need to do. They need to roll Jones out. Give him space to operate, because the offensive line has been dreadful and hasn't been able to give him enough time. But I'd like to see how they do in the run game as well. Oh, nice move. There you go, Freeman. And he got a nice gain out there, probably like 12 or 13 yards. And the Giants offense actually moving the ball. I don't know how many yards that was. I think it was like 12 yards. Yeah, it was like 12 yards. Oh, that was blown up in the backfield as, Chase Young.
3-14 in his career as a starter after taking over from Eli Manning last year, but 2 of those 3 wins have come against the Washington football team. His best start was Week 16 and then overtime win last year. I believe it's the only time he hasn't thrown an interception or turned the ball over or fumbled during that time. Now, obviously,
well, that was a good job by the color commentator. Two of his wins were against the Washington football team last year, and one of them was when the Giants beat the Redskins in the Chase Young Bowl, which they could have lost that and gotten Chase Young, but they chose to win, which is, I thought. I never root against my team, but at that point, I was just like, you know what? Giants need something. And I always thought they needed, like, defensive players. And that would have been a great addition if they were able to draft Chase Young. Well, we'll see. Deion Lewis on a nice little swing pass gets a first down. So the drive continues, which is great. But, you know, what the Giants have to do, and what I'd like to see, is if they can put it in if Daniel Jones can put the ball in the end zone. But the line has been improved minorly, like not like mightily, but they've been improved because well, that didn't work out. They tried. Uh, Jason Garrett, he is not. His play calling is disastrous. They tried a reverse, and it did not work. And Daniel Jones did not block well, but then again, he's the quarterback. He's not expected to really block. Giants lost 3 yards on that play, so it's a 2nd and 13. And Devontae Freeman gains about gains a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and long. I think he gained about 7 yards actually, so I think it's 3rd and 6 now. But we will see if the Giant. Well, it's 3rd and 8, not 3rd and 7, but 3rd and 6. I thought it was 3rd and 6. I thought he gained 7 yards, but we'll see what happens here to see if the Giants can get some points on the board. And see, that is where he's got to get rid of the ball. Daniel Jones holding on to the ball far too long, and he was sacked for a loss, but at least he didn't turn the ball over. And right there, Fleming couldn't hold his block, and it resulted in a sack. But so now the Giants will try for a field goal here. A 33-yard attempt from Gano. And it splits the uprights, and it's 3-0 New York. But, man, the Giants' offense looked good. They moved the ball. But then again, when they got in the red zone, the drive stalled.
Well, actually, now new and existing customers can get our best smartphone deal. It's historic.
That is historic, which means I'm making history, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I
Wow, me, Dave Brown.
See, the thing with the Giants is their offense is definitely not the best. And that was the one thing that people thought coming into this year was, oh, we have playmakers, and which is highly suspect. We really actually do not have many playmakers, if any. But there our one big playmaker went out with an injury in Saquon Barkley. And even him, he didn't really make any plays because the coaching staff, i.e. Jason Garrett, can't scheme him to get the ball in space and take advantage of his talents. They're using Saquon Barkley to run up the middle. And that's not the type of back he is. He's more of like a scat back. He's great in space, makes people miss, can juke people out like that. And that was not well snapped by me. But yeah, that's the thing. And you could see at the unimaginative play calling by Jason Garrett that this offense is not going to get in the end zone. And it really hasn't this year. And that's why they are winless on the season. Because in the first game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, they stuck with the Steelers, and that's because the defense actually played well, but then the offense couldn't like sustain drives, and the defense was out there for way more than the offense. They lost the time of possession, and that's not good. When you lose the time of possession, your defense is bound to get tired. And that's what happened, in years past when the Giants had a good defense, but the offense couldn't help them out, and then the defense would be left out, like hung out to dry, and we'd lose games. But that's just the way it is. And see, I think I think Andrew Thomas should be playing right tackle, because then you put Cam Fleming in there as a rotational guy, and he's good for to give players a blow, but he shouldn't be starting because he just doesn't have the talent. Well, no, I don't want to say he doesn't have talent, because everybody in the NFL has talent, because otherwise they wouldn't be in the NFL. But he should have been. He wasn't actually brought in here to be a starter. He was supposed to be like a rotational person. But we'll see. I think it should be Thomas and Parrott at the tackle positions. But I'm not the coach, so obviously that probably won't happen. But that's just the way I feel. You put your best players out there. And yes, I mean, Thomas was benched because he wasn't the best player. He wasn't proving to be the best player. But, and it's amazing because just how far Dwayne Haskins has fallen out of favor with the Washington coaching staff, because he's not even active for this game. He's in street clothes on the sidelines. And that's picked off by Bradbury, the best player on the defense. Oh, and he took a shot by McLaurin, but he picked it off, and the Giants now take over in their own territory at the 25, I think. Yep. James Bradbury read the quarterback's eyes, and Allen is known to throw a couple picks. And if the Giants can win the turnover battle, that is a great sign for them to actually escape with a win. But that's the thing with the Giants. The Giants, lately, have not been winning the turnover battle. They haven't been, and also, even if they get a turnover, the offense still has to do something with the ball. They have to play complementary football. And the Giants haven't been showing that lately, but they haven't also gotten a lot of opportunities for that. But we can see if they can the offense can do right and actually come off the field after scoring points. They need to score points, and not just field goals. They need to put 6 on the board. But that is just the way it is. And that's the way I feel. And so far, first of all, seeing Bradbury I will give that to Gettleman. That was a great pickup by him. And yes, I know James Bradbury was from Carolina, and one of Gettleman's former teams. So, he knows him. So obviously he sees the talent. So I'm just surprised that Gettleman got him. And with the only thing not the only thing, but one of the big sticking points is that they got Bradbury, But Baker was supposed to be the other corner. But we all know that Baker was a knucklehead and got himself thrown in jail for trying to rob people, armed robbery. So, I mean, see, that's the stuff that when things like that happen, you know you're not going to have a good year. But the way the Giants defense actually played this was actually really well. And Devontae Freeman gets the ball up the middle and runs for a minimal gain, like 3 yards. But I think that was Bradbury's second interception on the year. But this is a great opportunity for the Giants to actually go up, increase their lead, and if they can do that, well, actually that was a gain of 4, so get rid of it. And he does, and throws incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. And the picked off by the Steelers, and the Steelers are running it back for a touchdown. As the Steelers are up. They had a pick 6 with their defense. Yes! And Slayton that is Daniel Jones' first touchdown pass of the year. Well, a second one. Who does he hit? Darius Slayton, obviously. Hit him on a go route down the left sideline for a touchdown. I think for like a 23-yard touchdown. And the Giants are up 9-0 right now with Gano with the extra point. And that's good. So the Giants are up 10-0 on the Washington football team. And that's actually Daniel Jones' first touchdown pass since week 1. I think. And it was to Darius Slayton.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on our car insurance with Geico. I got snacks. Oh, I got popcorn. I got caramel corn. I got kettle corn.
And the Giants are up 10-0 over Washington. So, I mean, that's good for Giants fans, but, not Washington fans. Let's see if the Giant defense can come up big again and keep the Washington football team off the scoreboard.
Get a freshly made Subway footlong instead. Try my favorite turkey. Order on the app.
Anything for my fave. Try the new Subway buffalo chicken.
According to local building codes, fences have a maximum height of 90 for thought.
So let's check the other scores. See, the thing about this is if the Giants can somehow escape with a win and get their first win on the season, and Joe Judge finally knows what it's like to win as an NFL football head coach, that's great. But that's pretty much going to be their only win of the season, unless they play the Redskins not the Washington team in Washington. That was my one slip up on the day, calling Washington their what were known as, which is it's tough actually, and to not call them their nickname because I grew up watching Giant games, and I know I always would call Washington their name, but I mean I know better, you know. So I apologize if I offended anybody with and that actually turned out to be a very beneficial bounce. The Giants almost the return man for Washington actually let the ball bounce, expecting it to go out of bounds, but the ball just bounced straight up in the air. So he actually had to field it, and then he was stopped for like a minimal gain, and they take over at like the 11-yard line, which is good for the Giants, but not good for Washington.
Just check out that footage. He kind of tweaks it right there. He's been dealing with a bit of an ankle foot injury all season.
Here's Kyle Allen back to work for Washington. And he loops one complete to Logan Thomas.
And Logan Thomas gets a completion over the left side and gets a big gain. Kyle Allen actually threw a nice ball. I mean, but and also the Giants failed to wrap up and tackle, which it's just something that I noticed. I mean, I've noticed this for a while, that NFL players don't actually know how to properly tackle. They usually just go in with shoulder.
Kyle Allen was an American Conference quarterback for a couple of years. It's a pass-heavy league. You don't get,
in my opinion, if Gettleman's gone after this year, and I don't think they should really I don't think they should hire. Well, they're gonna hire someone to take over as GM, but it's tough because I personally think if they do hire someone else, they need to go outside the organization, because if you just promote somebody from within, they're just going to keep the same old, Giant way of doing things, and the Giant way of doing things isn't winning games. And what I think is they should basically either give Joe Judge GM responsibilities, have somebody in the organization under Gettleman being able to do like the front office type of stuff, but Judge makes his personnel decisions, like the roster decisions, and he could actually make a lot help wheel and deals and improve the team. But the other stuff, like the like regular things like GMs take care of, office things, they could have somebody take care of that, whereas Judge can just concentrate on coaching the team, so that way he doesn't spread himself out too thin. But I mean that's just my idea. But you don't want to put too much on Joe Judge's plate. He's only a first-year head coach, so but I definitely think Judge should be making the decisions on like roster moves, bringing in people and things like that. Because if he's given like full control of the team, like in that aspect, like which is what Bill Belichick wanted, you know, and still wants, you know, I think then maybe but nah, never mind. That's kind of a silly thought, but that's just the way what I was thinking, and basically, I just want the Giants to be respectable again, and the only way to do that is to get wins, and whatever is going to get us the wins, I'm all for it. But I don't want. I like Joe Judge as a coach.
Part of the key is tough and ready lineup of SUVs.
Right now, Lisa 2020 Sportage LX all-wheel drive for $179 a month for returning.
But yeah, I mean, I personally think it should be. I'm going to go back to this. I think it should be Thomas and Parrott at the tackle position, and maybe get Hernandez out of there because Hernandez has been trash. He had his rookie year. He played great. I mean, he had hiccups every now and then, but that's what happens to rookies. And the thing with Thomas is that he faced some amazing defenses in his first 5 games. So, And Terry McLaurin catches the ball and gets a first down for Washington. And the Giants sniffed out the run and keeping it to a minimal game, so it's going to be 2nd and 10, pretty much no game, which is good. I mean, Mayo got activated. I mean, he was on the IR. And the way the IR was changed up this year because of the COVID situation, you can go on IR and be limited and come back in 3 weeks, and that's what they did with Mayo. Whereas McKinney, he's sitting out till mid-season, but then again he hurt his knee, so he badly hurt his knee. So right now, Washington has the ball at the deep in Giant territory. And Leonard Williams with a huge sack for a big loss. Williams gets his 3rd sack of the season. So Allen was pretty much hung out to dry. And he was down. It was not a fumble, obviously. But yeah, he gets his 3rd sack of the year, which is big. I mean, you could see. I mean, I actually he wasn't really brought in to get sacks, but it's right now it's 2nd and 24. We'll see what happens. McKisson gets stopped for a loss, and Williams actually coming up big again on back-to-back plays. So it's probably going to be third and 25. Well, it's series like this that I think Gettleman had in mind. Uh-oh. Oof, that was tough. The Giants almost gave up a third and very, very long as McLaurin was actually stopped, and it is going to be a field goal attempt, but it's a much shorter field goal attempt. But the thing is, the Giants really shouldn't have allowed that big of a gain. But we'll see what happens here as the kicker for Washington lines up. Hopkins lines up for a 35-yard attempt. And the snap, the spot, the kick is up, and it is good. So it's 10-3 now. The Giants. That actually shouldn't have happened, but it did. And like I said, it's 10-3 now in the second.
Adding cucumber reviewed the Popeye's chicken sandwich, and it was pure joy. Get the sandwich for just $3.99. And don't forget to order a delicious Cajun turkey.
The support we've had over the last 2 months has been amazing.
It's not just a work environment. Everyone here is family.
Much had changed since I was last in USA. Just than me. And become famous. I did disguise. That looks like you. Does not like me. People have become experts on display. If you think you see where it's going, you do that, and I get it. America has become great again.
Do not let go of the club. What was the first thing I said? Hello, nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Don't miss a whole new group of celebrities. All new Masked Singer. Wednesdays after the World Series on Fox. And catch up anytime on these platforms.
Want more stats? Hey Siri, who has the most passing touchdowns in football?
Great conversation with Leonard Williams yesterday. A lot of insight on what he hopes for from this Giants defense. And some of the Washington players pointed it out too. This defense is a lot better than the record's going to show. The defense has kept them in a lot of games this year. That red kick we saw a couple of weeks ago, they called that high-powered offense, Jay.
Yeah, it's just the mistakes they've made, being tied together, back end, front end, some of the big plays they've given up. But the strength of that Giants defense is that defensive line. Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence and just outstanding players.
Someone I follow on Twitter raised a very good point, and this is what I love about Joe Judge. He doesn't care about where you were drafted. He's going to play the best players. He said that over and over. And basically, that's what he decided to do with Andrew Thomas. And I don't blame him, because all you got to do is look at the tape. And, I mean, yes, he has had good and he's had bad. He's had more bad than good. Daniel Jones with a nice play fake. And as I was watching that play develop, I was like, oh, dude, you got to keep that because the running back was getting tackled as he was handing the ball off. I'm like, just run it. And, man, he picked up a huge gain all the way down to the 25 of Washington. That was a 49-yard run. So, yeah, he's going to be the leading rusher again. I mean, that's not good. If your quarterback's constantly your leading rusher, that's not exactly the best thing. But, this season he's got 130 yards rushing. He's actually the leading rusher for the Giants, which is, I was not expecting that. But, when Barkley goes down with an injury for the year, it's kind of like you got to take your running rushes where it's available. And I love Caden Smith. I love when they get him the ball because he is basically the tight end that Jason Garrett loves. And I don't understand why they don't use him. He doesn't use him the way he used Jason Garrett. I mean, yes, he's not the same exact. He doesn't have the same exact build, but he's a lot similar, more similar than Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is a great straight line runner. He has terrible hands, but yeah, and I don't understand why they don't use Caden Smith the way he used to use. And actually, just as soon as they say Evan Ingram has terrible hands, he makes a nice catch for a first down. Oh, well, penalty probably on the Giants because you could see by the reaction. Oh, never mind. It was a roughing the passer penalty on Washington. So the Giants actually catch a break because not only do they get the first down on the reception, but they also get an additional 15 yards on the personal foul. And that I mean, I grew up playing football, and I mean, I had my share of concussions and leg injuries and things like that. And I mean, the way the quarterbacks are protected now, it's basically two-hand touch. But I mean, I understand the calls. You don't want, calls to be going up against like calls like them going low. They could potentially end someone's career. But we'll see what happens here. And Freeman is, I don't even know what that play was. And Eli Penny was open in the flat, but he obviously chose not to go that way. And Joe Judge is having a discussion with the referee. I don't know about what, but yeah, that was a completion for a loss. And the Washington front is actually playing very well, living up to their reputation.
Stuff him in there, stack him, shed him, make a tackle for negative yardage. And I will tell you, as an offense, sometimes this is actually a better position to be in. I mean, I don't like to be in third down the ball, but it gives you more space vertically, so you don't just have to work a horizontal aspect in this 3-by-2 formation as they motion it back into the backfield. It gives you a little bit more space to attack the end line.
A design run, Daniel Jones trying to power ahead, and he's short of the goal line.
And a sneak, well, not really a sneak. It was like a design run for Daniel Jones. And he shorted the goal line. But he they couldn't get a first down. So it's 4th and goal, and they're going to attempt a field goal. And they take the 3 points, so it's 13-3, and they go up. They go back up by 10. But the keeper for the 49-yard gain set up that field goal, and then they tried to run another keeper to get it in the end zone, but he did not get in the end zone because Gates got in the way. And in my opinion, you could have ran a little better. You could have ran it a little better, but
Be honest. Which one's better? The Rodgers trade or the Patrick Price?
I love the fake where he got the 49-yard gain, because I'm like, why are you staying with the running back? He obviously doesn't have the ball. But whatever.
Oh, yes, it is. The 2 for $5 weeks in match deal. Now inside of PS5. Buy and play game in-app for a chance to win.
The last 3 months of my active military service, I was in charge of conducting military funerals, having to give this folded flag to a girl who lost her dad. There's nothing you could tell this girl about their parent being gone. President Trump just doesn't understand. I am from a multi-generational military family. To think that somebody would call them suckers and losers is incredibly disrespectful to every person who's ever worn that uniform, to every person who was the child, the mother, father, brother. You just don't understand what it means to do something that you think is more important than just yourself. And this country is more important than him, than me. Coming together is what's important. Joe Biden's a unifier. His son was one of us. It takes a lot to be able to send your own child off to war. Joe Biden understands that decision. He has sacrifice. He's experienced loss, and those losses allow growth. I believe that Joe Biden is the man for this time.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message. Ronald Creation leads the Braves against Mookie Betts and the Dodgers. The NLCS Game 7 tonight after football.
So the Giants are up 13-3. They go back up by 10 with
Another NFC East showdown. Giants, Washington.
left in the about 6:15 left in the first half.
Short again. Goes Katie Johnson to the sideline.
And the Giants are able to stop the Redskins from getting past the 30-yard line on the kickoff. So later tonight is Game 7 of the NLCS. The Dodgers and Braves square off. By the way, who do you guys have going to the World Series? The Braves or the Dodgers? Well, I think I want the Braves to make it. I would like to see the Braves get back to the World Series. I'd be rooting. Basically, I'm rooting for the National League this year because I don't want the Rays winning the World Series.
Cincinnati, a team that both of these teams will face. Washington will face them relatively soon in a stretch where Ron Rivera said, hey, I think these are some winnable games. He's coming off the edge, and Logan Ryan gets around. J.D. McKissick for the sack of Allen back at the 34-yard line. First sack of the year, 12th of his career for the veteran Outrunners.
Yeah, you always see him come off this edge right here, but got safety over the top as they motion the back in. Here comes Logan. Look at that, Logan Ryan just doing a nice job rushing the passer. He's just one of those guys that, where do you need me to play? You need me to play safety, you need to play quarterback, you need to be in the box as a blitzer. I mean, he just is a control guy, and they relish.
Logan Ryan with a big sack, loss of 7. It's second and 17, and on second down, Allen throws to the receiver for an 8-yard gain.
That's one of the things they constantly preach. We want guys that can play outside linebacker, defense, and inside linebacker.
So it's 3rd and 9. And let's see if the Giants can force a punt for Washington. Isaiah Wright catches the ball short of the 6, but makes a move and gains a first down. So it's 1st and 10 for Washington. Wright actually made a nice move. And see, we're talking about, we've been talking about the Giants secondary since training camp, and what was thought to be a strength, take an injury here and a rest there, and now the secondary is a weakness. I mean, it's actually kind of sad how, and shows you how quick the NFL changes. McKinney going out till midseason. Baker getting thrown in jail. And Gibson is stopped in the backfield for a loss on the play. And Tomlinson, see, I like Tomlinson. And they definitely got to give him a contract. And see, I like him a lot better than I do Williams. Leonard Williams.
We're turning on 5G across the country with a coverage of 5G nationwide. And in more cities, the unprecedented performance of ultra-wideband, the fastest 5G in the world. It will change your phone and how businesses do everything. I'm proud because we didn't build it the easy way. We built it right. This is the 5G America is looking for, only from Verizon.
At Chipotle, carne asada is back. The cumin, the coriander, mixing it with that fresh lime juice and that cilantro, and it just brings out those flavors. It's very tender. When you're cutting it, it's tender. When you're eating it, it's tender. It's bomb steak.
Who's USAA made for? It's made for this guy. A veteran will honorably serve. And it's made for her. She's serving down. We make for all branches and all ranks. Whether they serve one tour or made a career. We also make USAA for military spouses and their kids. USAA is easy to work with. You can save your money on auto, home, and renters insurance. Become a member today. Get an insurance quote at USAA.com/quote. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Not who we are, hard. Hard. Eliminate who you are not. First.
So the Giants.
The race is over. Journey has no point. The adventure never ends because we are always on the way.
It is 39 now. at 2-minute warning in the first half. And the Titans up 21-7 over the Texans in the second quarter with about 3.5 minutes left. The Bengals up 21-7 on the Colts. Loving that. The Falcons are up 10-0 over the Vikings in the second quarter, with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. The Broncos are ahead of the Patriots 9-3 late in the first half. The Ravens are crushing the Eagles 17-0 in the second. The Browns are trailing the Steelers 17-0. And the Panthers are trailing the Bears 10-3. The Lions are up on the Jaguars 14-3. And the Jets and the Dolphins play later at 4. And the Packers also play the Buccaneers at 4. And the Rams play the Niners later tonight on Sunday Night Football. And the Giants stop the Redskins on 3rd and long, as McKisson is way short of the first down. And that will bring out the punting unit for Washington. Bradbury did a nice job there, and also Lewis did a good job making a sure tackle.
Golden Tate is back there, and it's going to be down at the 1-yard line by Davey Johnson. But there was a lot of contact on the kick. We'll check the flag.
And
see if it's roughing we're running into. Like when you're running into, maybe 5-yard penalty. Potentially repeat the 4th down, although that was a great punt. You might just take it right into the kicker. Defense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And a running into the kicker, the 5-yard variety, penalty on the Giants. And let's see if they will make him re-kick, or they choose to re-kick because they downed it at the 1. So they are actually going for it now, because now it's 4th and 5. I mean, that's interesting. That's an interesting choice.
I understand what they're doing, though. You kind of get the sense that maybe just looking for a spark, something like that.
Looking for a spark, and I get where honestly, hey guys, we're gonna have to produce offensively if we're gonna win this game.
Me personally, I don't know if I would have declined that penalty. But the Giant defense is not the best. And, I mean, if they feel like they can make it, why not? And that's basically what they're doing. And and he misses a sack. And the Washington gets the first down on a missed sack. Williams tried to bring him down and actually whiffed. And Lewis with a big pass deflection to break up on a deep pass. Wow. That's interesting. If Lewis didn't deflect that pass, that was a first down and goal from the 1. So it's 3rd-and-1 now, with about 31 seconds left in the first half. So it is the Giants defense really does have a hard time coming up with stops. If it's not one thing, it's another thing. If it's not if it's not executing, it's a mental lapse, and that's what happened with that.
A live bookkeeper is helping customize QuickBooks for me.
Okay, you're all set up.
Thanks. That was my business key. This one's casual.
Intuit QuickBooks, official sponsor of the NFL.
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time. Gillette Pro Glide and Pro Glide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you start the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
I personally like the move of benching Thomas. And it wasn't like he wasn't playing at all. He was basically benched for the start of the game. And I mean, he has actually played in the game. And I mean, but the thing is, if he's not gonna, I still feel like you could start him just at right tackle instead of left.
It's their 3rd double-digit play drive on a 4-day half. And the Giants maybe getting a little snapshot of what Washington was thinking about. We'll take it to New York. Let's find out what we have at halftime coming up with Kurt Crew.
Coming up on the Verizon halftime, we'll show you all the action from across the league, including a battle of the birds in Philadelphia, and we'll update you on that huge AFC North matchup with the Steelers and the Browns. How huge a matchup is it? That huge. It's all coming up on the Verizon halftime. Oh, big boy.
The Lions are up 17-3 over the Jaguars. Darnay Holmes has got a neck injury and is probably unlikely to return today. I was wondering why he was out. And McLaurin gets a first down on a wide receiver screen.
Just get a little tunnel screen down here on the bottom. Just come up, check down, and then get out behind that offensive line. See how he lets the offensive line get across his face. He cuts it back inside behind Christian right there, 74. Bam, gets him in the back and whoop up the field for the first down. Really nicely executed.
Terry McLaurin.
It's really hard to do that too because you catch that ball, you got to run back into traffic and trust that your O-line is going to get out there. That big hot ball is going to get out there and start whacking some people around. But hey, listen, when you're 100, change, like you're 160, it's like you 150. So like when you're that little guy, you got to trust you're going to go back in the trees.
We'll see what happens here on 1st and goal. From like the 10-yard line. And Allen throws it out of the back of the end zone. And holding on the defense.
17 seconds left, still one timeout there.
Well, you've got 3 chances to the end zone right now. Here's Blake Martinez right here. He's going to get a grab on this crossbar right there. Just got him on the hip. Twisted him a little bit. That's what you hope to get away with, but that just kept right there, seeing the whole thing. Here's the goal.
And he goes. That was a great catch by the Redskins. Who was that? That was Thomas. Logan Thomas with a great grab.
Yeah, that's just going, hey, let's go 6'6" versus 5'11", throw it to the pylon, and you can't throw it. I mean, right,
That was a great throw.
Thomas out here. Ball, both feet down. You see
Toe drag swag right there. And they cut the lead to 3. Well, if the extra point is good. But that is something I have noticed about the Giants defense. The Giant defense plays well until the end of the game. The end of the second half, the end of the game, they bend but don't break, but they normally break going into the half or towards the end of the game. That was actually a very fantastic route. A very nice catch. And I mean, it was good coverage, but it was just an outstanding throw by Allen. So it's 13-10 with 13 seconds left in the first half.
This is how we've got to this point so far, 13-10. Washington had a missed field goal on the opening drive. Giants had a field goal to answer. The Bradbury interception set up this beautiful toss to Darius Slayton. First passing touchdown since week 1 for the Giants. Remember the running into the punter penalty made it 4th down and less than 5. Ron Rivera rolls the dice. They get the first down.
The Riverboat Gambler goes for it on 4th and 5, gets it, converts it, and it results in a touchdown.
You know what? That's why he's coaching this Washington team, and I'm up here talking about it. He gambles, and he goes, that's it. We're going to put our stake in the ground. We're going to say, this is where we either kind of quote-unquote live or die in the NFC East. And a wise move by Rivera getting the touchdown.
Well, the only reason why it was a wise move, in my opinion, was because the Giants' defense just collapsed.
That's what people kind of forget about in terms of playing odds and playing feeling. But I got to find a balance, and that Ron Rivera might lead in moments like that towards, taking what would be considered a risk, compared to the other one. And you talked about, I'll go back to the point you made. We're 1-4. It's an NFC East game. We got to plant the flag. Eagles are going up against the Ravens in a tough matchup today. Dallas is on Monday Night Football tomorrow night. Nobody's got more than 2 wins. This is a winnable division, and you got to have those are moments I imagine you look back at.
As we speak, the Eagles are down by, I believe, 17.
And the Giants kneel and will go into halftime actually leading, which is new. The Giants actually start the second half with the ball. But I think going into the halftime, that's not quite the way the Giants wanted to go into the half, only leading 13-10, when they had a chance to be leading 13-3. But if they didn't commit that penalty, they probably would have been leading 13-3, or maybe 13-5. I don't know, because the punt was downed at the 1. But Rivera decided to take the penalty and go for it on 4th and 5, and it paid off for him because they converted, and then they actually converted all the way down into the end zone and got and closed the lead to 3 points.
Searching for their first win in this NFC East matchup. Kirk Bennett and company are back in the studio for halftime.
We will see what happens in the second half, as you know.
This is the 5G I've never been waiting for. You're looking at welcome to the Verizon halftime. Let's go through these highlights there. Welcome, TV. Thank you, Coach. Well, Washington football team at the New York Giants. Daniel Jones set up. Under pressure, fire down the left side. Gorgeous, a beautiful route by Darius Slayton. A 23-yard touchdown, 13-10 Giants. Up on top of the Washington football team. Bengals at the coach. Joe Mixon, 5 running back out of the great state of Oklahoma. Straight up the middle, 7-yard touchdown. Powered in there, young man. 24-14 now. Bengals on top of the coach.
Interesting dance moves.
First half touchdown pass. Falcons at the Vikings. Raheem Morris, Falcons interim head coach, watches Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, 2 touchdown passes by Ryan in the first half. That on the 20-yarder to Jones, 20-0 is left on top of Minnesota. Lions at the Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars. Adrian Peterson up the middle, another power guy, another Oklahoma guy, 1-yard touchdown. All Lions 17-3 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Browns at the receivers. Warm them up, man. Get them going. It's the Browns this town. Setting up. Pump right. Fire right down there. Wide open. Whoa. Hang on, James Washington. 3-yard touchdown. All Steelers 24-0 over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Ravens at the Eagles. Lamar Jackson. Last year's reigning MVP in the league. Go right. Go back. No, not here. Go. Nick Lowell coming back. 7-yard touchdown. All Ravens 17-0 over the Eagles. Broncos at the Patriots. Cam Newton back after working with COVID-19 protocol. Newton back, pass the shift. Deshaun Williams is up for the interception. That leads to a Broncos field goal. Denver 12-3 on top of New England. Texans at the Titans. Ryan Tannehill, 3 first half. Touchdown passes. This one good. Adam Humphrey set it up, fired out there. It was raw high. Ooh, yeah. 21-10. Tennessee is top of the game. And the game that most of you are watching, the Chicago Bears up by a touchdown at halftime over the Carolina Panthers. Howie behind the report.
You know, we talked about the streaky offense and Nick Foles being streaky. They started out well.
So the Giants lead 13-10 at the end of the first half, and it'll be interesting to see how they come off in the second half. Maybe they can hold on. They start with the ball in the second half. They do. Maybe they will come away with victory, but I won't say they will, because we saw the collapse of the defense on the end of the first half. But the Giants are playing well, but are they playing well enough to win? Honestly, I do not know.
Going down the sideline for a 49-yard. You're excited. You know, I'm trying not to get too excited, Howie, because I don't want to be let down. But let's go, Big Blue.
With that kind of enthusiasm, how can they not? Exactly. Hey, man. Verizon reminds us that it is a big couple days coming here on Fox. Game
Football is done. Of course, tomorrow we got Monday afternoon football here on Fox
Nice.
5. The Chiefs and the Bills in what should be a great one. Pre-game coverage starts at 4:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 Pacific. Of course, later on today, it's another game of the week. Trust us. Behind that star, that's Aaron Rodgers. He's taking on Tom Brady and the Bucs after the second half of the game.
Verizon 5G is here with a coverage of 5G nationwide and in more cities the performance of ultra wideband. This is the 5G America's been waiting for.
Hey, Tony, what you doing?
I am just reviewing some of Tubi's best plays.
Tubi, huh?
Total MVP. Check it out. We got a huge offensive line.
Yeah, but what if there's an audible?
Tubi is such a defense, free movies and television shows. It's always a perfect play. Tubi. Watch free.
Sorrento SX, Telluride, Sportage, and Seltos SX are the Kia's tough and ready lineup of SUVs. Right now, lease the 2020 Sportage LX all-wheel drive for $179 a month for returning lessees. So I'm going to hold on promoting it this quarter.
Drop the taco. Get in the car. Does this Sentra feel like a compromise to you? The handling, it's good, right? No compromise there. Watch this. Clear automatic brake. So if this Nissan Sentra isn't going to compromise, what should you?
The all-new Nissan Sentra with more standard safety features than any other car in its class. Right now, get a low $149 per month lease on the 2020 Nissan Sentra.
I had a son named Michael. A suicide bomber appeared, and he was killed. On September 11th, Michael came home. Max Rose said, I'm going to outget Michael, the distinguished service force that meant so much. This is a man who almost lost his life. When I hear this crap about Max defunding the police, I'm outraged. It's all lies. The last thing Max would do is disrespect the uniform.
House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Sportage,